Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Teach Astronomy. My name is Victoria, but you can call me Vicky. But today, you can call me Kai, because today is Friday, and we are back with some more Dungeons and Dragons in space. So if you are new here, every Friday, barring scheduling constraints, we play some Dungeons and Dragons in Space, which is a modified version of D&D created by our very own Game Master Grant. And our characters, Kai, Leaf, and Dr. Aronnax, are in the middle of a mission right now, mission number 2. And if you haven't been here before, we will catch you up on where we were, because it has been like a week since like 2 weeks since we played. And we'll catch you folks up to speed. But right now, should I try to do an overview, or do you want to take it? Because you have more notes.
I can go for it, yeah. Okay. So these are the continuing adventures of the away team of the Starship Endurance, a massive colony ship with over 100,000 colonists, on a very long journey to the opposite side of the galaxy to start a colony, obviously. And in this mission, a distress call was received, the characters are sent to investigate, and lo and behold, they are infected, or at least 2 out of the 3 of them are infected with some sort of contagion, which is slowly changing them into something. And we've heard all sorts of fun little stories and tidbits about what that may be. They have explored a surface facility. They've encountered some alien sharks. They've encountered some giant Leviathan-class whale things at some point. They met a potentially homicidal, but also very friendly robot called Artie. And they made their way to a facility that belongs to a people called the Mardum. This is deep below the ocean. They have slowly been exploring their way through it and found the stasis chamber, where all of the adult Mardums seem to have kept themselves in stasis all this time. And at the very end of the stream last time, they decided to wake one of them up. One of the doctors, it turns out, who was trying to protect everybody and not, get everyone infected with this thing. So, yes, they woke up a Mardum who, after taking a couple of gulps of seawater to catch their breath, asked 3 questions. They said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? And please tell me you found a cure."
And we said, we'll deal with that next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if memory serves, Kai's actual words to this being were, "Good morning."
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Also, quick, should we do quick character intro? Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce your characters before we get too much farther.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't been here, like I said, my name in this D&D adventure, my character is Kypris, and she is an heirloom human, which means that she is the generic human variant, and is a pilot for the group. She's also kind of become, I wouldn't say the muscle, that's not the right word, but the one who likes to shoot things. She has like 3 pistols at this point. It's great. It's a great time.
All you need is an upgrade to your suit that gives you a prehensile arm.
There you go.
Those exist.
Hell yeah. Leaf.
And I am Leaf in the Wind, our hacker and psionic adept. And I am real squishy.
It's very delicate.
And very much against waking this person up. But you know what? Here we are.
It happened. And then Doc.
I'm playing Dr. Aronnax, who is a cephalopod human, it's a variant that's a reptilian human cephalopod variant. And he's a physician and field medic.
Yeah.
Yes, and unlike the other 2 members of this party, he's the only person who hasn't left his suit the entire time, which means he has not had to make a fortitude save yet.
He's not sick.
Yes.
Me and Leaf, on the other hand.
The doc breathes oxygenated water, which is one of the things that's kind of helped him not get exposed to this thing, whereas Leaf and Kai have both exposed themselves to this at some point.
Whoops. But yeah,
So-
okay. So
Introductions over. We're just going to pick up the scene here. So Bessie translates and uses a speaker in Leaf's suit to translate what you just said, Kai. And the Mardum doctor just kind of gives you a look and repeats his last question. Please tell me, or his last statement. Please tell me you have a cure.
So, here's the thing.
How about we let the two doctors talk to each other?
That's a great idea. Doc, you want to take this one?
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to catch him up on what we've got. So we received a distress call, and we arrived. It's been a day ago.
I think
It's been 6 hours actually.
6. Okay, I was going to say 6 hours, but so we arrived 6 hours ago. It's unclear how long this distress call has been going on. We detected, or we found some logs that explain this illness, and we have our ship working on it and analyzing it. We do not yet have a cure. We're hoping that you can help us get to where you were when you went into stasis.
Okay.
And we
Mardum-
do have an entire starship actually full of scientists working on the cure currently.
they're just taking their sweet time.
Just-
The
If that
Mardum
helps.
doctor kind of just glances between the three of you, acknowledging that you're all saying things that he may not want to hear, and kind of swims past you to the console and hits a couple of buttons, and says, and Bessie translates within a few seconds, it has been approximately 315.4 solar cycles since the message began. Long time. So you're telling me you don't have a cure, and while a cure is being created, you haven't collected necessarily all of the raw material and evidence you need to manufacture an antidote.
Well,
Correct. The last people who showed up in response to your distress call kind of blew up the place a little bit.
Oh, I remember.
well,
Yeah.
so
with
I would
the-
argue we're doing better than them so far.
Well,
in
and
helping.
the systems of this facility are difficult to access. So we have not been able to get the information that we need to do this. So now that you're awake, hopefully you can help us expedite the process.
Or better yet, we can help you.
And then we can all not die. Woo.
Yes, my colleagues have been infected.
Yeah.
With
Hi.
that, the Bardum doctor just swims back a little bit.
That's fair.
From both of you, and
Well, they're
starts-
both in their suit. I mean, I explained, they're both in their suits. They're cut off, from,
We're quarantined.
yeah, they're essentially quarantined inside their suits,
We've
which we need to
got-
refresh soon.
very soon, as a matter of fact. So he looks between the two of you who have been indicated as infected, and asks a question, and says, "Has the allergic reaction subsided yet?" And with that, I want you to both roll a fortitude save for me,
God. Okay.
because it is actually about that time.
So I just fun thing that I've learned just now. I hurt my wrist at work the other day lifting something heavy. It's fine, but I went to go roll the die and I was like, "Oh wait, that hurts." So we roll in lefty today. This thing's
I
not
did,
staying
in
on the
fact,
table.
pick up rainbow dice.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't have
Yeah.
rainbow dice, but I have rainbow nails.
I've
They're not
seen
the
some
vibrant
spectacular
ones?
dice advertised online. I think I did a search recently, and so now my Facebook feed has been flooded with iridescent and rainbow dice.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's my 40.
The die I need is the one that fell on the floor.
I got a 16.
Look at this. It's this pretty iridescent thing. It's got mylar crumpled up inside it. It's so pretty. That is not a good roll. These dice are failing me. That is a 6. So, ow.
Well, sadly, You both failed that roll.
I got a 16.
It's a high roll.
Oh no.
It's progressing. It's going to get harder and harder to
That's fair, yeah.
saving throw it.
Oh.
So here's the thing. You both notice, actually, as soon as the doc says it, you notice that the allergic reaction that you've been feeling, this kind of sickly, I feel awful feeling, has actually been subsiding. If anything, maybe there are a couple of parts of you that are oddly itchy. You're not entirely sure why, but beyond that, you're no longer feeling allergic. In fact, if anything, when you really start paying attention, you notice you can hear better. You can actually almost hear things through the water through your suits better than normal.
That's not good.
Your eyes, you can perceive things in the depth of the darkness you actually normally wouldn't suspect you could see.
Oh no.
I
can
it's a beneficial mutation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're also both a little peckish around the edges. Although that might be because you just haven't eaten in a while.
How you doing, Leaf? I don't
One
answer
moment.
first. I'm just
One moment. Leaf taps the side of his helmet, checking to see, like, is there like some kind of cybernetic thing he didn't remember? Like, what's going on here? Why is my vision so good?
I'm gonna say these are spacesuits, so you have some readouts telling you about your biological status. Nothing that might tell you exactly what's going on as far as the disease is concerned, but any cybernetics active, it would tell you. And currently, nothing beyond what's necessary to keep you alive.
Well, yeah, so allergic reaction. That being gone's not a good thing, is it?
The doctor thinks for a second and asks, "How long have you been on world? How long since your exposure?"
6 hours.
yeah.
You are potentially approaching stage 4 of the disease.
Stage
Can you
4.
tell us
Give
more
it up
about
for
the disease? We
stage
can't even
4.
find a description of it. And
Like
what
how many
the
stages are
progress-
there?
right,
And how
like,
many
you-
stages till I get
like-
dope claws?
Right,
How
I
many
know this is no
stages
time.
till I can see everything?
And do I get dope claws before I become homicidal or after?
These are important questions.
The Mardim doctor looks very worried when he looks at you, Leaf, for a second, because it's like, maybe this is farther than I thought it had gone. But the doctor explains that there are 10 stages to this thing. The 10th stage is when you lose all control and you are no longer yourself. You still have a period where you can reverse the effects, but
What are the
it's
effects?
the effects.
Bad.
What are the effects? We
You're
can't
bad.
access your computers.
Well,
Just
the
grab.
doctor-
Help
the
us with the
doctor-
computer. What's the password?
He's kind of going step by step.
Okay.
He explains that it's not located on any computer here because these computers didn't store the scientific data. Any data that there was up in the main facility, which he understands to have been purged.
Not good.
But he is familiar with
You
it.
guys don't have backups? We learned that the hard way. You should have
All of the
backup
power
systems.
from the whole station is being diverted down here, so we can't access the computers.
Yeah. He says if he can get to the power regulation system in this facility, he might be able to do something about that. That being said, he continues to explain the disease and says that your senses become sharpened. You become stronger, faster, but you lose your faculties. You start developing physical armor in your dermal layer. You do develop claws, but you also start becoming ravenously hungry. You also, in later stages, begin to have trouble discerning between friend and foe.
Hey, Doc, when we get to that point, try ration packs. Those work really great on hungry beasts.
Make us into pets.
You can just keep me with wonder. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Do the
Roll
suits have any kind of immobilization? Like, can I freeze their joints?
that's a more advanced suit than you guys are wearing. If you wanted to spend your rec credits on something like that, you could.
It's a little
You
late
just-
now.
Yeah, a little late now. You'd need actual power armor to do something like that, which you have. It's just expensive.
Okay, I raise my hand.
Mhm.
Doc.
The doctor looks at you.
Yeah. So, I know that we're looking for cure and everything. Was there maybe a mention of some sort of like? Do you got like? I know it's not curing it, but like some antibiotics, maybe a little bit of Advil. I don't know. Fever suppressant equivalent.
What
Something
is
that'll slow
the
it.
disease?
We are unsure of the disease itself. We don't know its name. It was never fully classified. It was discovered on this world, and my understanding is it was being weaponized for the Coalition.
Oh,
We were against it, but they don't really listen to us down here underwater.
ah,
As far as mitigating the effects, if we can find some anti-mutagenic serum, there might still be some in storage. I can probably slow it down.
Cool. Love that. Let's do that first, and then look
I'll
for
just
the
have
cure
to
stuff.
take you to the med bay and scan you and make sure I'm not going to, poison you or make you explode when I inject you with this stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I like this plan.
Okay, so there are a few different things that can happen here. One is take you guys to the med bay and try working on the anti-mutagenic serum. The other is sorting out the power situation. It's up to you. You can do these in any order, really, but you're gonna want to consider potentially doing both. And there's also the added concern that
We're running out of air.
you're running out of air. You've got less than 2 hours at this point of suit air and consumables, which
When
is
it
your
takes
oxygen.
2 hours, or sorry, it takes us an hour to get back up to the.
Mhm.
Well, it took us an hour to get down here. I don't know if it will take an hour to get back. I assume that the trip is similar.
Doc, you don't have any.
It is.
Not you, Doc. But.
Yes.
other-
What's the doctor's name?
Yeah. What's your name?
What's your name?
You may call me Dr. Rasok.
Rasok. Okay. So. Rasok. Dr. Rasok. Is there anywhere down here that we can just like resupply our oxygen, or we gotta go all the way back upstairs? You gotta have
We should be able to convert something in the workshop to
Okay,
help
cool.
you out with that.
Yeah. So then we don't
But-
have to go all the way back upstairs because we don't have to go back up for a while, right?
Preferably someplace with an airlock that we can then, sanitize,
Yeah. Also, like,
or a room we can sanitize.
Well, can
Do
can
we-
we just connect the suits and refresh them? Do we have to take them off? I mean, what's the procedure?
You can connect them. It's essentially a gas and power line. that you
Oh,
Okay,
use.
so
okay.
we shouldn't. I mean, you guys don't have
So
to
we-
leave your suits.
okay.
Yeah,
Because I was gonna
and
say
we
I
can
don't
assume
know if
that it's not going to backfeed into the system and poison everybody.
Yeah, and I also, you know,
That was a question,
oh,
even though it wasn't phrased as one.
we're not
I
gonna
mean,
kill everyone.
It depends on the repair check you roll to
Oh
improvise
my
this
God,
thing.
Grant.
I mean,
If you roll a 1, who knows what I'm gonna pull on
That's
you guys.
fair. Okay.
uh,
But do we Rasik?
The Mardum doctor just kind of swims away down a corridor.
Wait,
and,
Rasik, wait.
I'll follow him.
Start going, yeah. Wait, if we just like is there like any I don't know, danger of if we get re-exposed? No, it's just kind of like a one and done, right?
That's my understanding.
Cool.
Additional exposure might speed things up potentially. I would not recommend it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of which, he taps on a little device on his wrist, and you notice what looks like a timer start. I should probably keep track of how long I've been exposed now.
Has he been exposed? I mean, we've had our suits on the entire time.
As far as I'm aware, this contagion will survive on a suit and cling to it until it detects another host. It seems to
No, but they
it seems to transfer in a more intelligent way than standard contagions. We are unsure exactly if it spread.
But they said that we don't have to wipe down the groceries anymore and stuff because it doesn't do that. This is all COVID. I know this. This is very upsetting to me, Grant.
But he just gave us a clue. It's intelligent. It's not like a viral illness.
It's intelligent.
Yeah. Well,
It
he
may
said
be-
it spreads more intelligently. I mean, let's
Leaf is
let's
remembering that presence he felt earlier.
let's take that seriously.
You are dealing with something that he glances at the technology you are all carrying. You're dealing with something that may be beyond you. The Coalition has advanced biological warfare capability, and they were developing this into a weapon. It is lethal. You drop a vial of this on a planet, the planet is lost. That is why we were trying to sabotage it to an extent. There was only so much we could do.
What was the
Well-
last thing you tried?
The last thing we tried was to just put ourselves in stasis and hope someone came by who
Let
could
me
help.
rephrase that. What was the last sabotage attempt?
We may have led some of the local wildlife to the original dig site.
But not the weaponized version.
No,
Oh, okay. Just
We
making
were-
sure.
we were attempting, not so subtly at that point, to slow down production while we could figure out some other way of destroying the data.
All right. Well, I mean, what other information? I mean, what information do we have on this? I mean, do we even know? I mean, do you even know what kind of organism it's?
It appears to be a virus of some sort. However, the transfer mechanism after modification, it could be any of a number. The Coalition has many tools in its toolbox.
Is there a way to tell which one we're infected with?
With an electron microscope,
You got one of those?
Do we have one of those on our ship?
actually, you would know this. Yes, you have every kind of scientific device you could possibly think of on board the Endurance.
Oh, no,
They
I
made
meant on
sure-
our landing craft.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, they must have one on this station.
Um,
It'd be wild if they
Potentially.
didn't, Grant.
they would have. The doc explains, but it would have been in the lab.
Upstairs.
Oh. That's
And
not
he-
ideal.
He's not sure what the lab's condition is at this point.
Okay.
He's been asleep for over 300
Surprisingly
years.
intact.
Well, we can
shall we
show
go
him-
do that scan?
All right.
The bioscan of us, so we don't die. That one. Well, we might die.
Well,
So, but like,
Let's.
Well, on the way, the doc does stop by a small room that looks like the power regulation system you saw with Esh and the supercomputer AI system that ran there. The doctor taps a couple of buttons. You hear the sound of power coming back on, and all of a sudden there are lights again. However, you did not. Well, make spot checks. See if you catch the password.
I got the password last time. What are you talking about? A different password? I didn't get the password this time. It's a 2, but I got the password last time.
12.
I got an 18 plus.
Oh, I think it's a +1 technically. It's a 3. Wow.
I can pull up my character sheet.
I think you got the password for the nursery.
Okay, there's different. That's fair. They have a little bit more security than I do, where they don't use the same password for like 5 things that are related. That's fair.
I mean, as far as you can tell by watching him, type things
So
in the
18
alien
plus
language.
2. So 18 plus 2.
Okay, so 20. Matthew, you surreptitiously take like a little recording with your suit's helmet camera, and you're able to send it to Bessie, and Bessie's able to translate it. It's a seemingly random set of characters and numbers, but you now have the power system password in case you need it.
Noise.
All right.
And you said the power system's similar to what we saw with Ash.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like Ash.
No.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, there is no artificial intelligence on this world, except for maybe Artie. And
Love
as
Artie.
Bessie has said, Bessie has no high regard for Artie. Apparently, Artie is a
Hardly-
lower life
Hardly
form.
intelligent.
Yeah, we would like to. I'd like to probe the kind of not the main power thing itself, but just like kind of some of the conduits psionically, just to see if I can understand a bit better how they work.
Okay.
What's going on here?
Yeah, roll a Psycraft check for me.
That's a terrible roll. That's a 16.
I mean, you can detect the hints of psionic energy or energy on the same wavelengths as you would operate, but nothing really beyond that.
Cool.
All right. So the doctor leads you back to the med bay, which has booted back up. As he kind of swims through, he grabs bits of trash and stuff that was left over before they all went into stasis, and kind of just puts it away somewhere so it's not in the way of everything, and indicates that each of you are to take a seat on one of the bunks that's there, and then turns to you, Doc, and says, if you could, there should be a storage bay nearby. I believe you already winched it open to an extent. Look for this symbol, and he produces a blue semicircular symbol with a triangle just underneath it, and explains this is a general medical symbol, but most of our medical crates have some form of anti-mutagenic serum in them, especially the emergency ones, which is what I just gave you. If you can find one, bring it back to me. I may be able to help your friends.
All right. So I'm gonna swim off to. Do you guys want to come with me, or are you staying here?
We gotta get scanned, I think.
We're staying here so he can scan us.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Split the party.
actually, the doctor starts looking around and says,
With the scanner that you're carrying.
yeah, the doctor is looking around and says, where'd my scanner go? It was right here, sealed, perfectly preserved. Where did it go?
The one I got was from upstairs.
Was it?
He's not wrong.
No matter. He boots up some sort of internal system, and this giant robotic arm with all sorts of appendages that are actually very worrying to look at, like syringes and saw blades and knives and stuff like that, kind of drops down from the ceiling and starts approaching. Who's it approaching first? It starts approaching Leaf, and
that looks painful.
I wouldn't use most of these things unless you're sedated. Please stand still, though, just in case. And this
Leaf stands very, very still.
this alien doctor starts checking you over. Now, Doc Aranax, you head back to the cargo bay that you guys found earlier, and you find yourself confronted by this mountain of boxes that was there before. And there are a couple things you could do. You could either roll search check and take the time required to properly search the place, which will be a while, or you can just do a quick spot check and either see it or not.
Well, I'm going to start with a spot check.
Okay.
And see what I can find. 18 plus 2, 20.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of toward the top of this thing, but you do spot a box with that symbol on it. And after a couple minutes, you kind of have to heft it a little bit. You are able to bring it back to the med bay. Just make a note of how much time has passed so far. All right. And about the time that Dr. Aranax returns, the Mardum finishes the scan on Leaf and turns to you, Kai, and says, our people look similar. How identical is your genetic structure?
I'm not.
Within 90%?
I'm not a geneticist.
Within 90, yes. Within 99, no.
Yeah, we can go with that.
I mean, it's actually like 99 point something, but
Is it in the character sheet?
Not really. It's kind of playing with it a little bit. But yes.
No, but if you're going by humans
within...
versus monkeys.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm more
We're both bipedal humanoids from vaguely the same genetic stock.
I'm more like him than I am like a banana, I guess, if that helps.
What is a banana?
Never mind. Yeah, I think you're good.
Radioactive fruit.
Oh yeah, well it is, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
This makes me quite
Very
curious
popular
about the
on our home
world.
planet.
Your people eat radioactive. Never mind. That's irrelevant right now. The good news: the substance I will be injecting you with will not kill you.
Great.
And it will not make you explode or do any of the things that I was concerned about. It might, however, have some side effects that I cannot predict.
But it'll slow it.
As long as it's not growing armor and
No, that part I'm okay with. The
Becoming
psychological
ravenous.
effects I'm more concerned about.
Yeah, no, I was super down for like the being buff. Like that sounds good. But
I wouldn't mind having armor again.
you gotta be like Smart Hulk.
So, like, categorically, what are we talking about here in terms of side effects?
It could be anything from... he starts listing things off. It goes from severe nausea to an allergic reaction to instant cramping and paralysis to all sorts of things.
yeah, it's fine.
In other words, this is me just telling you it's a D percentile roll, and I just figure out what happens.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do me
I
first.
mean, it's gonna slow it, right? Sure.
Okay. So, Doc, the Mardim doctor borrows that crate from you and opens it up, and you just see a whole myriad of vials and packages on the inside of it. He takes out a couple of vials, inserts them into some sort of like device. It kind of looks like a gun that fits into his hand, and approaches Leaf and says, "Present your arm."
Okay. I guess if exposure is already a thing, shall I just remove the glove?
He says, "Oh, okay, well, that wasn't necessary, but fine," and just jabs you with it. It's not a needle or anything, but you feel just this sharp burning sensation for a second.
I'm sorry, if it's not a needle, what is it?
Leaf, you feel a sharp burning sensation. And
Advanced
you
medical
notice
technology.
And you notice that the vial that this doctor inserted into it has been reduced by half when he pulls it away from you.
But
And the
it's
fluid didn't drain, it's just gone.
It seems to have drained into the device somehow. You're not entirely sure where it went, though. Presumably, it went into your hand somehow.
That's cool. Do you make a ranged version?
That
would be
for what
sick.
reason?
Well, it's
For
so
when
much
I
less.
die.
It's so much less clunky than this thing.
I'm assuming you're like presenting your air gun that you've been carrying with you unused this entire time.
Yes.
The doctor looks at it and says, "You don't use that on living beings, do you?"
Oh, he uses
Mostly
it.
only on Kai.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
I tend to
Barbaric, right?
get in some sticky situations.
But it beats dying.
Yes.
Your culture both fascinates and terrifies me.
Same, Doc. Same.
The Mardim approaches you, Kai, and says, "Present your arm, please." Okay, and do you just leave yourself completely contained within the suit?
Yeah, if he said that I didn't have to,
Okay.
then yeah.
Okay, you feel the same burning sensation right about the middle of your forearm, and you see the vial empty the rest of the way.
Cool.
Now, the fun part.
Torture us.
20. That's a 43. Okay. So, Leaf, as soon as you stand up, you notice you are very dizzy.
Oh no.
Which means you are only going to be moving half speed, and anything that's requiring dexterity on a roll is going to be taken at a disadvantage from this point until the stuff wears off. It also means you don't get your dexterity modifier to armor class. Because you are very, very, very dizzy right now.
Okay.
Now Kai.
It's gonna be worse. I
Ye-
can tell.
Potentially. Now, Kai, what ends up happening to you is some ways I can take this. Hang on. Okay, what happens to you is you start sneezing.
Oh God.
And luckily, because of sci-fi weirdness, you have the ability to handle that inside a spacesuit. However, this gives me, your GM, the ability to make you sneeze at the worst possible time.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'll be fun. All right, and with that being said, that's another, I'm going to say 45 minutes in total that has passed. And yeah, Dr. Aronax, you're noticing your colleagues are a little woozy around the edges. They're not 100%, but hey, as far as you're aware, they're not going to be turning into monsters as soon as they might have.
Apparently, we're only worried about the psychological effects.
I mean, yeah.
I don't mind. I'm not.
Have you seen this bod?
It honestly would help him a significant amount, I think.
It would make your job a heck of a lot easier if I had some
What-
armor.
So, is there? I'm sorry. I addressed the doctor. Is there a way to sterilize the outside of suits? I mean, have you found a way? I mean, what is this? Is this virus vulnerable to?
Plasma discharge was the only way I heard of that would be able to sterilize this stuff.
How much heat does it take to destroy it?
Plasma.
Plasma discharge. We're talking, I don't know what your measurement is, but for us it's 10,000 Ricard.
How many Ricard does it take to melt water?
Oh great, now about 1,200.
We're a science channel.
Leaf does the math.
my math on that scale is terrible because I was not expecting it. No, let's say 200. 200 is what's required to melt water, and you have no idea if this is a strange logarithmic scale or what. It just gave you a weird number.
I have
Essentially, he boils it down to this. Essentially, if you can make plasma, you can kill it.
Can I make plasma with the multi-tool?
The multi-tool produces high energy particles, which technically you could say are plasma.
How precisely can I target matter agitation?
Not that precisely. Not that precisely. It's essentially
Not at the molecular level.
This boils down to you guys starting up an arc furnace and walking into it.
Okay.
Is essentially what he's saying.
That's fair. So we can't do that.
So take a spacewalk when we get up top.
Yeah. What we do need to do is get some air, because I'd like to keep breathing.
I too would like you to continue existing.
Oh, thanks. Wow. Oh, thanks.
And I also need some sort of conveyance because if you came on a submarine built for air breathers, I cannot follow you.
Yes, well, let's see if you must have suits.
Oh, wait. Can we just go back to the sub and get some air?
You never modified it. I mean, the two of you probably could because you've already been exposed, but then you'd be re-exposing yourself and maybe counteracting what the doctor just did to help you.
But you said there was some way that we could plug into something here, right?
Yes, and with power restored, the doctor leads you to this workshop and points out a couple of devices that can A, provide power, and B, provide, through a chemical reaction with the water, can provide oxygen for you. You just have to use what's around to convert them for your uses.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've always wanted to do surgery on a spacesuit.
Yeah. So I can figure out the power couplings.
It went so well last time you guys did something with spacesuits.
Well, I'll do the power couplings and electronics this time. Let me see if I can craft a solution for us.
Okay.
Yeah, and if Kai would like to handle the breathing part.
Yeah, I can do that.
can we get some kind of backflow prevention going? Because I don't want to be responsible for killing an entire planet worth of people.
Yeah.
Bessie, don't translate that.
I'll put a Bessie starts doing it and then just cuts off.
Yes. You hear the translation cut off halfway. It doesn't look like the doctor heard that part yet.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming I'll do a general like repair check to try to like make a tube that like will fill do the thing.
You find a wide variety of stuff in here, and also this Martum goes past the doors in the far end of this workshop, because there are a set of large double doors that seem to have squished something between them.
And what was that?
Seem to have squished something between them.
I thought you said squished.
And, hey, that could work too. But with the lights on, you can tell this is a vehicle of some kind that kind of got wedged in there. And beyond that, there is an entire bay of vehicles that are open to the water, so that water-breathing entities can operate them without having problems. And it looks like your new Martum friend is in the process of fixing one of those up, so it's operational.
Cool.
While Kai and Leaf are working on this, is there anything that Dr. Aronax is going to do?
I guess I'm gonna try and I'd like to see if we can get back in contact with our shuttle and see if there's any update from our ship.
Okay, and remind me, did you guys set up a connection between the shuttle and the main systems of the facility?
I thought
Yeah.
Bessie did. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We set up a connection between the the submarine and our ship, and we set up a connection between the ship and the local systems.
Okay, then yeah. Now that the power's on, Doc, you can definitely go and check that out. In fact, there are multiple computer terminals that, as soon as Bessie translates everything for you, you're able to do that, no problem. And what were you double checking?
I want to see if our colleagues have any updates on this virus. And basically, the other thing is, I guess I'll ask Dr. Martum, or sorry, Dr. I forgot his name already. Rasak. If he, if there are any additional files that he can provide to me that I can send to our ship for analysis to help speed the search for a cure.
Yeah, he swims over after doing a little bit of work on that machine, and shows you a file directory containing the basic biological information on the Martum.
And for the love of Todd, don't tell them it's a bioweapon.
I don't think that's important right now. I'm not planning on it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
the Martum doctor sort of agrees, although he says it probably should be mentioned at some point if you guys are going to be in this space. So that being said, you now are able to transmit information on the Martum so that a cure can potentially be made for them as well. However, it will take longer, because now you're making a cure not just for humans and human variants, you're also doing it for an entire other species that, I mean, you have a similar species in your neck of the woods, but this offshoot of the Martum is its own species, so it'll take the scientists a little bit longer to build something for them specifically.
That's fair.
Beyond that, Doc, the full data upload has been completed. This next set of data is being uploaded now, and it should take about an hour, based on the information that you've been given. Beyond that, all you've gotten from Dr. Pell on board the ship is that they're working on it, but they need as many sample scans as you can get, and just as much data as you can give them.
All right, well, I'm gonna pull out my scanner and start scanning the water and scanning my colleagues and trying to see if I can scan Dr. Rasak and gather as much information as I can.
All right. In the meanwhile, Kai and Leaf, please roll those checks. It's a repair check for Kai and craft check for Leaf, I believe.
Yep. Oh, that's much better. Okay, I don't hate this die as much anymore. That is a craft electrical, right?
Mhm.
So that's going to be 23.
Okay.
I only got 11.
11, I mean, you start crafting something, you think you can hook it up to the thing and get some O2 out of it. As far as a black backflow valve, as far as you're aware, that's not something you put in there. You have a purge system on the suit, but as far as backflow, there you don't have any guarantees.
This seems like one of those keep trying till you get it right scenarios so that we don't kill an entire species.
Yeah. May I take a little more time and try again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gonna do that.
All right.
Don't
In the
fail me
meantime, I assume Leaf, you kind of just go around with this jury-rigged power cord and just plug it into everybody's suits and give them a recharge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a 10
Yes, Kai.
now.
You make another one so you can recharge people's O2 twice as fast.
That's not what I was trying to do, though.
Does anyone have a check valve?
One more time.
From the other room, you hear the Martin doctor say, "That's not needed for us down here."
6.
Oh.
We gonna call it good
Yeah,
enough?
just plug it in.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that being said, if you plug it in right now, you are just in time because you are all about to run out of your O2 supplies. So yes, it took another hour.
Okay, you know what? Sometimes.
I mean, it just happens. Sometimes tinkering and building stuff takes time. But you now have another 8 hours worth of power and consumables on your spacesuits. You are
Do remind
also
them that they need to eat.
yes. I was going to say you are all also just starving at this point. It's been a while since you got anything to eat.
Yeah, it's probably fine. It's probably just a disease.
I mean, there will be a point. I mean, this is the point where I probably add a fatigued modifier to you because your characters are
fatigued.
getting hungry. The fatigue modifier was removed when the
Oh, it
allergic
was.
reaction
Okay,
went away. You just got random sneezing and
That's
disease
not
Oh.
informed.
Fatigue is gone.
for now. However, it will go right back on, and you won't have to modify anything if you don't eat anything.
No, that's acceptable. We got stuff on us, right? Yeah.
Can we eat through the suits?
Yes, your suits have like little arms that just kind of feed you from a pouch
I
in
hate
the
it.
front of it.
No,
Yeah, it's
I just want to like take my arms inside the suit and then just do a little T-Rex.
Or you could do that too.
Yeah, I don't like
The suit has a button you can press where it just inflates a lot and gives you a lot more room to work. So all of a sudden, Kai and whoever else is using this method, you just kind of look like
No, I'm having the suit
Michelin
feed me
people.
Wonder Snacks.
Okay, and is Kai essentially having the same thing? The ration packs that
yeah, just a ration pack.
you both notice they taste very, very, very meaty,
Meaty.
almost bloody.
There's definitely no meat in these things, right? I'm sure they're like
None
soy
whatsoever.
protein.
They've got protein in them, but there's just something about them that tastes very meaty to you all of a sudden.
Cool.
I get why Wonder likes these now.
I love the difference here. Kai is just like, cool, great, and Leaf's just like,
Yeah, I get it. It's like
Try
that.
it.
I understand now.
I
Leaf
feel
is
like-
discovering secrets of the universe.
I feel like Kai's not a vegetarian, but she's like the kind of person that like only eats meat on occasion, and so this is very like I don't know about this.
She also grew up on seafood too, so it's going to be
Yeah.
a very different taste anyway.
Exactly.
Also, and Doc, it just tastes normal to you. It's just like, I don't know what your problem is. This is, I mean,
It's a regular
it's a
protein
ration
Well, I know
bar.
what their problem is.
yeah, you know what their problem is. It's just to you it tastes like a regular ration pack, kind of bland.
Got it.
All right. So with all of that work done, you're fully recharged, and it looks like your Mardim companion has finished doing some work on what looks like just a little travel pod, with a oversized engine on the back and a massive headlight on the front. And he comes back to you and says, wherever you want to go, I will follow to provide assistance. If you haven't been to the excavation site, you may find useful data there. Most of the excavation site's terminals were air gapped, so they may still be functioning, and they may have not purged the data.
Leaf's fingers start twitching.
There will be many.
So he didn't want to defrost the doctor, but he wants to go touch some air-gapped computers.
Yes.
At the source of this contagion. No less.
Absolutely.
Where the Mardum doctor said that they tried sabotaging by bringing some of the local fauna in to cause havoc.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be interesting.
Let's go.
Can we bring the giant button pusher?
The what?
The giant button pusher.
Hydraulic ram, yes. Yes, you haul the hydraulic ram back to your submersible.
No.
Is there a room with?
Kai does not allow that.
There's a whole cargo bay that's
There's a
empty.
whole cargo bay, and we have a little grabber claw, and it could hold the ram.
Fine.
Okay, so
I mean,
You
we should
wouldn't let me
probably
have
take-
the
I mean,
plasma
I'll-
cannon last time.
I'll also ask
Give me something.
Dr. Rasek if there's anything else. I mean, I'll show him the submersible that we're taking, and is there anything else that you want us to take? I mean, it would be helpful to take some of these medical supplies. Should we grab anything else from the cargo hold, from the workshop? What do you think?
He actually took a little bit of time before leaving to separate out some more vials of the anti-mutagenic serum and hands you, Doc, the same gun device that he was using to inject your friends, and says, this will slow it down. It should be enough for another 3 doses each.
Do you have anything more lethal?
How frequent? Do you have anything more lethal? No, do you have any? How frequently does this need to be administered?
Every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours.
That seems to be when the disease attempts to progress.
That's awfully regular.
It is.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
coalition.
Have
the
you tried to
coalition
communicate with the virus at all?
I don't know if the lab ever did up top. We don't have any facilities for doing that. I mean, if one of your friends turns, we could try shouting at them.
Leaf,
Didn't
I don't
work
know.
very well with the one who came down here and tried murdering us, though.
well, Leaf,
But,
if you
did
can,
you
if you can see if you can psionically
Talk to it?
reach.
Talk to the stuff that's growing in you.
Use the power of
I
friendship.
mean,
Right.
it's very close. I know exactly where it is. It's not like I have to go search to find it. It's just very small.
Yes, but there's potentially a lot of them.
They talk as a
This
hive
thing-
mind.
This is making me think of that episode from Star Trek: The Next Generation where they were dealing with the nanites and an entire
Ugh,
nanite civilization.
Ugly bags of Mosley water.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, Doc, that's a great
Oh wait,
idea.
that's a different. There were
I'm
multiple
sorry,
episodes where they were dealing with either nanites or crystal creatures or
Silicon life forms.
Yeah, the silicon life forms.
hmm Actually,
Yes,
in
there
this
were
universe,
several.
it's not Star Trek. It's Space Path or something. Leaf would know. Anyway, Leaf. I'm
Star
assuming
Trails?
After you impromptu arm the submarine and everybody's on board and you start your trip to the excavation site, you turn your thoughts inward. Go ahead and roll a psionic psycraft check for me.
Wow, I'm rolling really bad. That's an 18.
rainbow-
For context, I have a plus 11 to Psycraft.
Do the rainbow dice not know that it's Pride Month? That's homophobic. They roll.
They're
bad.
letting me down.
It's,
You need to get new dice. You should return them.
I will say that you do sense a presence. beyond the presence of your two companions and your new friend who's in a submarine following you guys, you detect a presence around you, and you detect the presence around Kai, but you do not make contact. It feels similar to what you detected on board the surface facility, but beyond that, it feels, if anything, less
Coherent. Can I memorize that like feeling so I can recognize it again more easily?
This one's going to be auto hypnosis in
Yes.
this case. Go ahead and roll that one.
Want me to roll for you?
Ah,
Oh, no.
Yes.
that's 11.
You try to memorize it, but then you hear something going on in the cockpit. I'm going to say, Kai, you actually notice, as you're just flying around looking at the dashboard, you actually notice a big red button. Well, actually, it's not red, it's big blue button. That Essie translates to emergency EM field.
Oh.
Do you press it?
Well, I need to distract to leave, right? So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll press it.
The
Oh.
entire submarine is wreathed in arcing electricity.
Hell yeah.
And
Ain't
it
nothing
lasts
gonna
for
touch us
only
now.
it lasts for only a few seconds. You think about 6 seconds actually. And then it dissipates, and you notice it charging up.
Cool.
And Leaf,
What button did you just press? Where can I get one?
It's the blue one. It's recharging
course it's
now,
the
but
blue
I'll let
one.
you press it later.
I'm holding you to that.
it might come in handy. So, an hour into your journey, what do you find?
How long is it going to take us to get to the...
It takes you 3 hours to get there, which means, Doc, halfway
Yeah.
through this, you're going to have to administer some stuff.
Well, it's been actually it's been. I mean, it was an hour. I mean, we were in the
we had to repair
workshop for
stuff
an hour.
Yep. So in reality, shortly, about an hour into this trip, which is around the time that this random event will happen, is when the... Hang on, there it is. There's my thing. It is about the time that you would actually be administering this. So, a 52. I got a 52. Okay.
Does it not make sense?
No, you come across that same pod of giant alien whale-like
Did
things.
you really roll the same number out of 100?
Apparently. And they... Leaf, you're aware of their presence again, and you get the sense that they're kind of thinking, these people again? And
Our buddies.
Leaf does the psionic equivalent of just kind of like performatively not looking in their direction.
I mean,
Like
the
you like the
psionic-
whole I'm not staring at you, I'm definitely not staring at you.
yeah, they don't believe it for a second, and as soon as within a few minutes of seeing them, they kind of just swim away.
Okay.
All right, Doc, go ahead and roll a treat injury check for each of your compatriots.
Roll
All
one
right.
and you shoot us in the eye or something.
All right, treat injury.
It's a fairly low check. All you're doing is
Well, I have 11. I mean, I have plus 11, so
yeah.
Just don't roll the
Um,
one.
so
You're
11
the-
plus 5. I rolled a 5, so I got a 16.
So who's this for?
That's for Kai.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of jab Kai with the thing, and you feel the same very, very warm sensation all of a sudden, like in your shoulder. And yeah, it works.
And I sneeze again.
Actually, no, I need to replace that.
Oh no.
Kai, all of a sudden, you're just feeling very, very sleepy.
Okay.
So for Leaf, I rolled an 11 plus 11 more, so a 22.
Okay. Leaf, you actually hardly feel a thing when this thing is, jabbed into your shoulder. And you...
Doc likes you better.
and
You were
Leaf,
squirming.
I've just had a lot more injections than you have.
Yeah, if anything, Leaf, you recognize this as maybe an old port where your cybernetics used to allow you to get injections of stuff. So it's like the doc just hit right on the bullseye with that one. Leaf, you are still very, very dizzy. Because I rolled the exact same thing.
Love it.
Was it another 100 out of 100?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why my dice are doing this.
Your dice are weighted.
I don't. They're not, because I rolled a different thing for your second and last for this travel random encounter.
That's funny.
Yeah, as far as you're aware, nothing happens.
Okay.
It's very quiet. Kai, in fact, I'm
I think it's too
I'm gonna have
quiet.
you roll a will save for me,
Oh god.
because you're feeling very sleepy and you might fall asleep at the controls if you're not careful. It's been a very long day. You haven't slept in a little while here.
It fell on my keyboard, but I did roll a 19. Plus the will save at 0, so 19.
Okay. You have arrived at the excavation site, and let's see, hang on. Where did it go? There it is. So, as you approach your destination, the kelp forest around you that you've been just floating through this entire time opens up. You notice lights flicker to life on either side of you. They seem to be mounted on much corroded and overgrown poles, but they're still there. And they lead to an entrance of a massive sea cave. A quick scan of the entrance using the sub's systems tells you that the submersible can fit, although barely. You're going to have to make a pilot check in order to get in there.
All right, let's do it. Also, hi, small snack. How you doing? Oh yeah, I'll raid Montator again. Hell yeah.
We've got another guide the raid. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's see.
Elite.
Oh, that's a D20, everybody.
Nat 20.
Or a nat 20. Why did I say D20? It's
'Cause
a
that's what
nat
you-
20.
I
I rolled a D20 and it hit the nat 20.
Okay. So
Woo.
otherwise, where the other two of you might kind of go "Yee!" and get a little nervous about being this close to a rock wall as you're passing by, Kai just glides the sub right through.
I'm
as if-
sleepy and I'm vibing.
Yep, as if there's no problem at all.
Yeah.
Also, Doc, at this point, I'm gonna say you're getting close to being fatigued due to lack of sleep. However, Kai and Leaf, I mean, Kai, you're feeling the effects of a drug right now. You otherwise could probably keep going. Same with you, Leaf. You're not feeling that tired.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna need a nap. How are you two doing? Should we rotate through?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Who wants to take first watch?
Wait, did you say I'm tired, Grant? Yeah, I'm tired. But Leaf is fine.
Your character is tired because of the effects of a drug.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I can't. I don't. How Leaf, how confident are you that you can steer this straight?
Well, we just need to stay on target, right?
Yeah, but like, that's not all I do.
I mean, he can wake us up if there's an emergency. I
true.
mean, you can set it up so that it can pilot itself, and he
I
can
mean, does
wake
this
us up.
thing have an autopilot? And can Bessie hijack it?
I'm not. Love Bessie. I would rather have a person.
You'd
with
rather have
eyes.
me drive.
I would rather have you sit. Can I pick him up? Here. I would rather have you sit here. I'm just gonna push you a little bit.
Actually, you probably can do that. Leaf doesn't weigh very much.
That's true. I'd rather you sit here and I sit next to you and take a nap, and then if anything happens, you scream and hit me. And we switch.
Okay,
Okay.
this is gonna go really well.
I'm sure it'll be fine. You just have to go straight, okay? You see where this dot, I'm showing him on the radar. You see where this dot is? That's where we're going. You see the straight line? That's all we gotta do.
Okay. So here's the question for both Kai and the doc then. Are you going to go for a long rest, which is about 8 hours? Or are you going to go for a short rest and just kind of recover a little bit, maybe push that fatigue off by a couple of hours?
Just an hour or two.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna be there in like an hour, right?
That's what I was gonna
Roughly.
say. Like we're just gonna we'll just nap until we get there.
Well, also we're gonna run out of anti-mutagenic serum before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to need another dose when you get there.
Yeah.
That being said, Leaf, go ahead and roll an untrained pilot check for me.
I updated the sheet to show which actual number to use. I'm very proud of myself. That is not going to go very well.
It's just
That's-
a straight line.
That's a 6.
Oh,
So, who here's watched Galaxy Quest? Okay, there's this scene in Galaxy Quest when the characters are leaving the alien space station, and they essentially run their ship against the alien space station, making this awful screeching noise that lasts for about a minute.
well, that wakes me up.
Yes, you hear just this awful screeching, wailing noise as the side of the submarine kind of just runs up against the side of the cave. And
Okay.
all right.
The instant that I hear that, I'm up because that's probably a loud noise. It takes me like a second to see what's going on, and I push Leaf out of the chair, and I'm like, I told you to go straight.
Kai, make a reflex save at disadvantage.
Okay. It fell off the table. Okay. What's my reflex? Oh wow, it's just so high. Okay. The first one
At disadvantage, though.
I know. The first one's 25, so hold on.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is oh god, math. Hold on. 15.
That's sadly not good enough. And in the process of pushing Leaf out of the chair, you hit the controls for a second, and the sub kind of just nosedives into the ground, into the seafloor below it, and you hear just this awful.
How fast are we going though?
I mean, it's a submarine. It's a submarine. It's got a decent amount of heft to it. So it's, and this is a cave that you are flying through. There's not a lot of clearance. So you hear a crunch, another scraping sound, and there's a damage indicator now on your display of the submarine.
I'm going to be so mad if our large scale button pusher is no longer attached to the ship. Okay, I'm going to check the damage indicator.
You also notice that there's a blinking button. Bless you.
Excuse me.
There's a blinking button on your call on the communications display. It looks like the little submersible behind you is trying to get a hold of you.
I answer.
No.
Is everything
no,
okay?
I do not. No. Hold on. Back. No. You get anywhere near my control panel, I slap your hand away and I say you've lost button privileges, and I click the button.
You already pushed me away. I'm in my own seat now. Come on.
The transmission's the same. Is everything okay over there?
We're working on it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Doc, I'm going to say this also probably wakes you up too. So
How long have we been asleep?
It's fine. Go back to sleep.
It's not fun.
literally like 20 minutes. It did not take long for this to happen.
Why did you?
So sadly, there's no recovery. And Doc, you are actively fatigued, and I'm also going to say that Kai, you are fatigued as well.
That's fair. It's what, like when you wake up from a bad nap
Pretty much.
and you feel more tired than when you went to sleep. Yeah.
Pretty much.
God damn it.
Now, I'm going to assume that the doc was kind of in the crew quarters to the aft of the cockpit. Leaf, are you still in the cockpit, or did you go down to because my understanding was your haunt was kind of the robotic arm controls and stuff like that.
Well, I was flying the thing briefly. So I'm probably. I mean, how long has it been since
I
we
mean-
crashed into the ground? Like if it's immediately after that, then I'm definitely still in the cockpit.
I'm assuming
Okay.
I've recovered it and we're still going forward now, right?
You're still going forward, and
Okay.
you think in a few minutes you'll be at your
Oh
destination.
yeah, then I'll go down to the
Okay.
claw area where there's a console and stuff.
Yeah, there's
Where
no
I'm not
claw
mad
anymore.
at you.
The claw is missing now, and there are sparks coming from the controls, and yes, your giant button pusher is gone.
That one wasn't even my fault. Leaf is upset.
Kai is upset too.
Hey, I just scraped against a wall. The button pusher was gonna be fine.
Now that being said, it's been 4 hours. It's been actually 4 hours since your last fortitude save. So both of you make a fortitude save, please.
Yeah, there's no way.
12.
Yeah, no. You notice, both of you, because you're actually both able to look out of windows. You notice that you're actually able to see a lot more detail in the dark that's being illuminated by the sub's headlights than you normally would be able to. And you get the feeling that your senses have sharpened again.
Hey,
You're also
Doc. I'm
I
getting
s-
better than 2020 vision. Might be a problem.
you're also both actively beginning to feel just ravenously hungry.
I'm also very hungry.
All right, well, then we need to-
Leaf immediately probes with his
Oh, wait, so
psionic
we're not-
powers to see
so
if
we're
he can
not-
catch a glimpse of what just happened. As soon as
So
he
we're not-
notices that.
We're not what?
Sorry. I
No, it's
interrupted.
fine. I was just gonna say, so we're not at the bottom yet. I mean, we've only been asleep for 20 minutes, so we still had an
It's-
hour left, right?
Or if we
Roughly,
finish that
you're-
hour.
Yeah, you finished that hour with all of the commotion that happened. You're just about there at this point.
Okay.
All right. Got
All
it.
right.
So go ahead, Leaf. You were saying
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The,
go
the, the,
Try-
the moment that Leaf notices his an improvement in his vision or something has changed, right? He's going to immediately try and probe and see if he can like spot what's going on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Psycraft.
This is a lot of really bad rolls with this die. I think it might have to go in jail for a while. That's a 14.
It's still there. There's still a presence. All right, Doc, are you going to commence jabbing people with serum stuff?
Yep. Time for your doses.
All right. And this is your second to last. Yes, second to last dose. You've got one beyond this.
All right. So first roll is a 25. That's for Kai. Second roll is a 31.
Neither of you feel a thing. In fact, if the doctor
The second dice was a nat 20. So
nice.
Oh, okay.
Well, in each case, the doc could have practically snuck up on you, and you wouldn't have noticed that he, injected you with something with a roll like that. It's just like, poke. That's it.
You really
All
took
right.
that you like Leaf better comment to heart, huh? Thanks.
hey, man, yours was pretty fantastic.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it felt way better. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now that the cave entrance widens out, you notice additional lighting is coming to life. And it illuminates a cavern with what looks like a single enormous crystal at its center. The crystal appears to be modeled, but from this distance you can't tell with what. There's sparse seaweeds and other cave life kind of hanging around.
Wait,
And
modeled? What?
Model,
Oh,
like sort of
like
the-
covered
mismatch.
with.
Okay. I heard
Yes.
modeled, and I thought there was a little one on the floor or something.
Like,
either that or it's
Like
got a runway that
Stonehenge.
it's strutting down or something like that. Anyway.
Cool, thank you.
But yes, you also notice that there are scattered throughout this area elements of what looks like an underwater lab site, including some sort of self-sufficient module that appears to have been damaged.
Okay.
You can attempt to pilot the sub closer, but you risk damaging things, or you can
Well.
you can EVA.
Yeah, let's
This is gonna
EVA.
go really well.
Let's EVA, because I think
Oh, are we? Am I still dizzy, or have the effects changed?
I don't know if you should
Oh
EVA.
right,
Oh
hang
yeah, we should have different
'Cause-
effects.
on. Ooh, okay,
The police are coming
Okay.
to tell you that we need different effects that you didn't roll. Retcon time. The retcon police.
actually, Leaf, you after receiving this, nearly imperceptible jab of stuff, you seem to be just fine until you start noticing, it's getting a little hard to move. And after a few minutes, where are you hanging out right now as you pull into this cavern? I should ask.
Probably just sitting in a chair talking with Bessie because the claw's gone, scanning things.
Okay, so as you hear the plans about doing an EVA, you probably start getting up to leave, but you notice all of a sudden, you're having trouble standing up.
We need to contact Dr. Rasok and find out what he wants us to do.
Okay. Also, Kai, this time you notice nothing. You're actually back to your normal self.
Am I? Or is this a lie that the
as far as you're
GM is
aware.
telling me?
As far as
Okay.
you're aware.
All right. You say so.
Dr. Aronax, you get a hold of the Mardum who's been following you, and essentially what he says is, collect everything you can. If you can get a sample from that crystal, that's where they got it.
Oh,
I will, of course, assist as best I can. I'm familiar with our equipment.
Cool. All right. Kai's
So is
suiting
Leaf
up.
feeling
Kai's
weak or
putting it in park
paralyzed?
and suiting up.
Leaf, you can't move. You can't even really speak. You can move your eyes, you can breathe, but you can't do much of anything right now.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go
So
to get a
he's
suit
not,
and then
does
be
he
like,
not get up?
"Where is
And
Leaf?"
so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go check on him and scan him and see if I can help him in any way.
Okay. Your scanner, because you've scanned Leaf before on occasion, and you're noticing that there seems to be some sort of disruption happening somewhere in the nervous system that's just going haywire, and he's not able to respond except maybe just stare at you.
So I'm going to call Dr. Rasek. I'm going to tell him what the symptoms are and ask him what stage we're looking at and if there is any treatment.
That may be an adverse effect to the anti-mutagenic serum. Sometimes in some species, it can cause temporary paralysis. It usually doesn't last very long.
Oh no.
All right. Well, Leaf, why don't you just stay here and scan things with your mind?
I blink at you.
1 for yes,
Poor thing.
2 for no.
Yes, my evil plan is working.
I give you a little pat on the shoulder, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, no button pressing right now. It looks like."
Bessie will keep you company, it's fine.
Yeah.
Leaf starts talking to Bessie by blinking in binary.
Okay. Yeah, Bessie eventually starts translating it, and you have a very riveting conversation about the merits of being a inanimate object. Now, Doc and Kai, you both leave the submarine as your Mardum friend pulls up in his submersible, and you take in this area. You've got a couple of specimen tables, it looks like. There is, of course, the crystal, and there is that module. If you, in fact, go ahead and make some spot checks for me. and to see if you see anything else.
Got a 15. Doc.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Go ahead and roll a spot check for me. See if you
sorry.
see anything else.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
And I guess Leaf will. Actually, I guess Leaf will also
18
try.
plus 2, so 20.
Nice. And what was Leaf going to do?
So Leaf is going to try and psychically probe the crystal, because if that's the source of, or the lamp or whatever it is, because if that's the source of this thing, then maybe there's a higher concentration of it there.
Okay. And in your case, go ahead and roll Psycraft for me. Now, between...
Can you use a good dice?
Just a different color. It's fine.
No, I want the rainbow die.
I want the rainbow die to not completely screw us every time it gets rolled.
That's fair. That's fair.
My scientific brain goes out the window when we keep getting ones.
Yeah,
and
right.
twos.
I haven't gotten a 1 yet.
Okay.
True, it hasn't completely...
But you also haven't gotten an 18 or a 20.
I got a 17 once.
Well, that's not bad.
I could roll a different die though if you want. Red or green?
Green.
Okay.
'Cause that's your color. That's your nameplate color on the stream.
Fair enough. 23.
Amazing. Okay.
This dice is going away somewhere.
It can come back when it's learned its lesson.
It's on timeout.
Time out.
Okay.
Stay.
So, Leaf, you detect nothing from the crystal, actually. However, there is something else here. It's kind of swimming around the back of the chamber right now, this cavern that you're in. But there is something else. And it feels very similar to the presence you've been feeling this entire time.
And it's moving and swimming.
Mm-hmm. And it's very, very hungry.
Let's go outside.
And then we're just chilling, yeah.
And Leaf, you have no way of conveying this to anyone.
Cool. Yeah,
Well,
Kai and Doc are
it'll take you some
vibing.
time. It'll take you some time to translate that into binary for Bessie to send out an emergency signal. So
I feel
while
like
that's
SOS
happening-
is pretty clear.
I mean, have you educated Bessie on what SOS means? I don't remember that ever coming up. Let's do a luck roll here.
Would Morse code have come up?
No. Why?
Not necessarily.
Leaf spends most of his time talking with Bessie. It's not out of the question.
It's not out of the question, but I did roll a luck roll here.
I'm curious.
It's a 5.
Ouch.
So, if anything, you've talked about like all sorts of other Earth languages and codes from recent years.
Semaphore, maritime flags.
Yes, sign language even, but you never got around to talking about Morse code.
Well, yeah, who uses that?
Anymore? I mean, who knows? So, yeah, you can definitely try communicating in binary because that's what you were already trying to do, but it's going to take you time.
In the meantime, let's go
In the
get
meantime.
eaten, Doc.
So, Kai, you notice that the damage to that module appears to be from the outside. That being said, there might still be something useful in there. The opening's certainly big enough for you to swim through. And Doc, what you notice is that where'd my note go? You notice that the dark spots in the crystal seem to be surrounding something much larger at its center.
At the center of the crystal or the center of the dark spot?
At the center of the crystal. They seem to be emanating out from it.
Okay. And my scanner, what does it show?
Your scanner's showing biological matter inside the crystal. Beyond that, I mean, it's not really showing you that much else.
Okay,
It
well, I
seem-
mean,
it
I'm
seems
gonna
to have
scan.
DNA
I'm
of
gonna
some
scan
kind.
the whole cave too.
Okay. Roll computer use for me, and in fact, Leaf, go ahead and roll computer use for me too.
While they do that, I think Kai's gonna start swimming to the module.
17 plus 3, so I got a 20.
20.
Nice.
26.
Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, Doc, you widen your search to the rest of the cavern, and you detect some basic plant life and a few animals here and there, but they're pretty small until the scanner reaches the opposite side, and then you detect just this huge biomass. And at the same time, both you and Kai on your heads-up display receive a message from Leaf. What is the message, Leaf?
Does it say SOS? Lorraine said, "Pop-up says save our ship. SOS." Pop-up is my grandpa.
I like that. SOS GTFO.
So yes, you receive that message across your heads-up displays, and as you do, Kai, you're actually the one closest to this because you started moving away from the submarine.
Oh yeah, am I like in the module?
You're almost to the module.
Okay.
In fact, if you were in combat and there was a round action and you were able to move before anyone else, you might actually be able to get in there on your turn.
Oh, interesting.
You said there's a module and a crystal above it? Did I get that right?
The module's near the crystal.
Yeah.
The crystal's at the center of this cavern.
Like floating or like suspended?
It seems to be growing from beneath the ground.
Okay.
Anyway, back to how I'm gonna die.
Kai, you actually glance over at this crystal, which is oddly illuminated by the headlights of these two craft that you guys have traveled here with.
Mm-hmm.
And behind it, you notice a shadow moving. And as it comes around into the glare of the headlights, you recognize what seems to be a very much mutated version of the alien shark you and the Doc encountered back at the surface installation. And while you've seen a few of these alien sharks at this point, this one's definitely different. It's when you see it, it appears to be a little lethargic. It's barely swimming. It's kind of just meandering through the water. Its four black eyes appear to have a gray film over them, and all of its fins are kind of drooping. Its body, however, is covered in bony plates, and some sort of slime appears to be dribbling from its mouth. When it notices you, it opens its mouth, and you hear a roar through the water.
Ah!
And the sound just rumbles everywhere, and you feel like it's physically hitting you. And its mouths are completely black on the inside.
How many?
It's got two. It's got the outer and the inner, just like it did before.
Okay.
However, the feeding tentacles that it's got are covered in spikes. It starts rushing toward you.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that's the point where we all roll initiative.
Woo! Combat! Yay!
Sharky, Kai.
Oh, that's rough.
Am I rolling initiative at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
You can fight from the ship. Well, if you can get up.
I could do things in theory.
In theory.
Which modifier does that thing get?
Initiative.
It's on your first.
It's next to base attack.
But it's based on dex, which means that I currently get.
Actually, you currently get nothing because you're completely immobilized.
I got an 8.
I'm gonna say go ahead and roll initiative normally. You're just not Leaf. You're not able to do anything right now.
I got a 19 plus 2, so 21.
21 for the Doc.
Damn.
7.
Okay, so 7 for Leaf, 8 for Kai. Sharky got okay. Sharky got a okay. And then your Mardim friend crit and is going before anyone.
Is the other doc still in his ship, or is he outside with us?
He was with you guys. He immediately swims over to his submersible and fires it up and just starts. He doesn't leave, but he starts gunning it toward you, Kai.
Okay, cool. So I now have two very large objects, one with teeth and one that's just metal, speeding towards my very fragile body. Okay. Cool.
So that's all that your Mardim friend is doing, which means Dr. Aranex, it is your turn. You just heard a roar, and you're seeing this shape kind of streak toward Kai right now.
Can we just get a real quick, like, how far away everyone is from everyone else?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So the submarine, Leaf, the dock, they're all about 12 meters, 15 meters from you, Kai, because technically Kai has that little sea glider thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's also really good at swimming. So you're good 15 to 20 meters away from them.
Okay.
Your Mardim friend has covered half that distance in his turn, so he's about halfway between you and everybody else. The shark will be able to nibble on you next turn.
I'm gonna grab my dart, my spear gun, and fire.
Okay, this is going to be a pretty long distance because I think you've got a fairly short range on that thing. Because I'd say, let me do some math. It's roughly 30 meters for you.
Okay.
So that means what's it say your range increment is on that weapon?
It doesn't actually say. It just says 2. So let's see. Hang on just a second. Let me see my.
You're good. I will.
Spear gun, attack bonus 4, critical 20 times 2, piercing range 3 meters. Oh,
3 meters.
so
okay.
Never mind. So not that never mind. I didn't realize.
It's also one of the sad parts about combat underwater. Ranged weapons tend to be very limited.
Right. I didn't realize 30 meters. That's really far. How did she get that far out?
She's got the sea glider.
I swim fast.
I
was on swim team. No.
That's her piece of equipment for underwater mobility. And it just increases her swim speed. So yeah, that's how Kai got kind of in the middle of nowhere. That being said, Doc, you can still try and close the distance. You are easily able to swim 10 meters underwater.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and swim as close as I can with my spear gun.
Okay. You close the distance. You could probably make the shot. It would just be at a fairly steep penalty if you tried.
I mean, it's only 3 meters. I mean, if I can do, I'm still 20 meters away. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, it's yeah, it would be like a minus. Hang on. It'll be a minus 8.
Jesus.
I think. No, minus 6. It would be a minus 6 to that roll if you tried. So, all right. So the dock swims a little bit closer, and that means, Kai, it is actually your turn next.
Great. Okay. I'm like right outside the module, right?
Yes, you can get inside that module, no problem.
Cool. And like, is the
and
opening
down, probably.
small enough that the shark will not get in?
It could. I mean, this is a pretty small module. It can't get in to bite you, but it can probably try reaching you with those feeders.
Okay. Well, right now, I think that the best idea is for me to just inside that thing and get as far as I possibly can into the module onto the other side.
All right, and you do just that. You're in kind of the farthest corner of this thing. Do you ready any actions, or are you just going?
Can I take a shot at it?
From here, no.
Okay.
However, if you wanted to, I would allow you to ready an action in case to attack it in case it did try coming right after you.
Okay, yeah. I will ready a does that mean that like if it attacks me, then I will automatically attack it even if it's not on my turn or something? Is that how that
If
works?
The way readying an action works is you specifically say, if this happens, my character does this. My character readies an action for it.
Yeah.
So
So I will
what
ready the
my suggestion would be ready an action for if something comes through that opening. But
yeah.
that could backfire potentially if something else comes through that opening.
Don't forget your tattoo.
Oh yeah. I'll do that in a second. But can I just be ready to question about my weapons. How do laser pistols work underwater? Good?
They lose half their range. They're designed for shooting through an atmosphere. If you modified them, they could probably work better underwater.
How big is this place that I'm in?
It's not a very long distance.
5 meters?
5 meters.
Cool. Okay, great. Then, because the laser pistol has a 10-meter range, so if it's half, then I think I should be good. Already the laser pistol. Just be like, anything's coming through there, I want to shoot it.
Okay. You ready in action. Leaf, it is your turn.
How far is this shark thing from me?
About 30 meters.
Could I hear the roar?
Oh, yes.
Because I detected it psychically. I know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot it.
Do we have any
Shoot it.
understanding of how does Leaf know how sharks sense the world around them?
Does Leaf
or
know how
this thing does?
Roll a knowledge, earth, and life science.
That good, huh?
Ooh. With the +8, that's a 10.
They have eyes.
Leaf's gonna just Leaf's gonna try and see if the lights are on in this shark's head. Just probe, be like, we know we have an infected thing.
Okay. Because you've already kind of got a mental beat on this, go ahead and roll Psycraft with advantage.
That's an 18.
It's an 18? Okay, yeah. I'm trying to remember if I think you did kind of get into the head of the first shark you guys encountered a little bit. And it was hungry, but it had some basic thoughts. This thing's just ravenous. You detect no higher level strategy or anything. There is no thought per se, except a desire to consume.
Okay. Do I have any action left to do anything, or is that
Actually, roll a straight up just D20 for me.
5?
5. At the moment, no.
Okay.
You're still kind of stuck there, sadly. All right. That being said, it's Sharky's turn. Let's see. Yep, and Sharky does exactly what I predicted it would be, which is Kai. All of a sudden, there's just this shadow in front of the hole that's been ripped inside this place, and a mouth appears, and feeding tentacles reach in and make an attack roll.
Cool.
And all of you just see this thing kind of ram itself into the module and wiggle around trying to get at something in there.
Damn it. 9.
Let me double check. Sadly, that does not hit.
Yeah, I didn't think it would. That's
you
fair.
hit
I'm scared.
Well, you hit one of the armor plates, and it just takes the hit.
Oh, no.
That being said, it's your Martin Doctor friend's turn, and he is going to make an attack roll with his submarine and miss. So it looks from Doc and Leaf's perspective, it looks like he tried to ram this thing with his submarine, and kind of whiffed it as it's struggling to try and get at Kai. That being said, Doc, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to. I'm going to keep swimming towards the shark with my spear gun, and I mean, if I did 10 meters in a turn, then I should be able to. I'm going to try and. I mean, I assume I'll have a little bit of a disadvantage at the end of this turn, but I'm going to try and fire.
Yep. In this case, it's only going to be a -3.
Okay. So
Shoot
D20.
that shark.
Ooh, a 2.
You let the spear fly from the spear gun, and Kai, even amongst all of the snarling and banging around as the shark's trying to get you, you just hear a plink off the side of the module.
Oh. So I've seen our compatriot fly by, completely whiffing it. I've missed. Doc's missed. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, I think Kai's watching all this and is like, this is it. This is how I go. Okay. Cool.
That being said, Kai, it's your turn.
Great.
You have multiple hands and multiple guns.
I do.
If you want to, you could try dual wielding.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so. I tried to shoot with a laser pistol. Didn't do that. Gonna try it again. Also gonna grab the hot knife. Remember the hot knife?
Okay, so are you going to try and go melee with this thing?
I'm gonna just throw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, which one are you doing from, say, dominant hand?
I'll switch the gun to my non-dominant hand, and then I'll throw the knife with my dominant hand, because...
Okay. I also may have given you bad advice, but this is great. So, with your dominant hand, because you're not technically trained in two-weapon fighting, it's a -4.
Okay, well, this seems like a trick, Grant. That's rude.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not, but okay.
Mulligan. It's
-4. And what else? What else? What other minuses do I have to suffer?
It's -8 technically from the offhand.
I might as well just walk up to the shark and let it bite me, like, at this point. Okay.
Or you could just make one attack.
No, I already committed because you didn't tell me the truth.
You committed to having two weapons out. You did not commit to using them necessarily.
I'm not gonna flake out now. We have 10 people watching.
Push the button.
I'm gonna push the button. Okay, so for the first one, because I guess I'm throwing it first. I don't know.
Okay.
16, but that's -4, so 12. But I have a attack bonus with the hot knife of no one knows because I still don't have stats on that. What would that be?
It would be strength plus your base attack bonus.
Strength plus base
so I think
attack. So strength is nothing. Base attack is 3. So 16, 17, 18, 19, -4, 15.
Yes. So this thing's actually moving around compared to you a lot less than it was when it actually tried to get at you initially. So because of that, its armor class is not as good as it was. You just meet it.
So do I hit it?
Yep.
Great.
That little boiling knife just kind of arcs through the water and hits this thing. Roll 1d4 damage and then another d6 for the burning.
Cool.
Is it actual fire?
It's just really, really hot.
Yeah. The d4 was a 3. The burning was 4. 7.
So 7 points. Ouch. You chunked this thing nicely. Yeah, it kind of gets lodged in one of this thing's mouths and it's just like, and it's not terribly happy with you right now.
I'm also going to try to shoot it.
Go for it.
Great. Ooh, actually not bad.
Was that? Yes.
It's going to be 18 plus 6, so that's 24. But then -8
Minus
is
that
6.
that hits.
Yeah.
That hits. Well done. Roll your damage for your laser pistol, please.
Hell yeah. I never
And
turned the
I'm
stun
gonna-
module off, right? It's on.
I'm gonna actually do you the favor of saying that maybe you leave it off when you're not necessarily using it because you haven't used it yet. Because that would zap you too.
Okay,
underwater.
yeah. No, I definitely did. I definitely
I'm-
didn't have the stun module on because I'm smart. Anyway, it's 2d8, so let's see. 7. It fell on the floor. Hold on. 4. 11.
Minus 11. Wow. Kai just did a number on this thing. 18 points of damage in one turn.
I said I'm not
Nice.
dying in here today.
Well, not yet. It's
Not
still
yet.
very much alive, although you did blast off one of its feeding tentacles.
Hell yeah.
No problem. All right. Leaf, it's your turn. And actually, at the top of your turn this time, let's go ahead and have you roll that just straight up D20 for me.
8.
Is that so he can
Okay.
just be unparalyzed?
Yes.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, you're still sadly not able to do.
Is
much
this a saving throw of some kind?
It's a straight up D20 to see how long it lasts.
Ah, okay.
As I have a basic idea of where where it needs to roll in order to. You're getting closer. I will say that. You are getting closer.
Cool.
Tell Bessie to fire the guns on the ship.
I mean, if you wanted to do a computer use check, you actually are starting to notice you able to move your mouth again. You can speak. I'll give you that.
I mean, do whatever you want. I don't even know if we have guns on the sub.
You have a big zappy field.
Oh, true.
However,
I feel like Leaf would know what the effect of that would be on the people or on his
if they're
fellow folks.
if they're close, I mean, it's a ship scale weapon. It does a lot more damage to personal scale in creatures. But you could if you connect Bessie. But you have to what I'm putting forward here is you'd have to connect Bessie so Bessie can control the submarine and get close enough to use this thing.
Well, also, I'd like my friends back in the ship before I just start zapping everything.
Also a possibility. You could also just tell Bessie, ram it.
Pedal to the metal, Bessie. Use that button presser. Press the shark into the ground.
The entire submarine is the button presser.
Press the shark button.
It's a crystal, you said, right?
Yes.
What are you gonna do to the crystal?
Hey guys, how much do we care about this crystal?
That just comes over the comms as I'm getting attacked by a shark.
Yes, it comes over the comms.
Why are you
As
worrying
be-
about Why are you worrying about the crystal? I mean, we need it, but like, can we deal with the shark first?
Okay, never mind. And then Leaf tries to connect Bessie to the ship.
Roll computer use for me. We've already established you can whistle or blink binary at this point.
Well, he can talk now too. So
Yes.
That's a 24.
Bessie is in control. What do you tell Bessie to do? Bessie could take one action this turn.
Hell yeah, ram it.
Okay.
I wanted a hydraulic ram, but you know what? A ship will work too.
ram what? The shark,
shark.
or the okay? I wasn't sure. I
Okay.
don't know. You were asking about the crystal.
Make an attack roll with a +1.
17.
Roll 3d6 damage.
Yes. Do we want to try one of the rainbow dice again?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's a different
chance to
die.
be
We'll give it a
redeemed.
chance.
You could roll all three: the red, the green, and the rainbow.
All 3 dice rolled the same.
Is it 1?
So that's 6.
Okay.
It
I
is
have to
so
now start-
hard to do. It's almost. I wouldn't say impossible because it is possible to do worse, but it's not easy.
So, Kai, you hear the sound of the submarine getting closer and closer and closer. Then all of a sudden, gong, and you see the shark.
Bounce.
Most of the shark kind of just disappear. It holds on with a couple of his tentacles as the submarine just whizzes past.
Oh my god.
And
Whee!
and yeah, the submarine's a lot closer now. That being said, the shark did hold on. It actually succeeded its strength check to not get completely just cartwheeled away by this, and it pulls itself back in. And Kai, it reaches for you with 1, and then okay, it tries reaching for you with a couple of those feeding tentacles, and actually whiffs both of them. You manage to kind of fend them off a little bit. The rolls are low enough where I'm pretty sure a 12 does not beat your armor class.
I don't think so. Let me make sure though. Yeah, I'm 15. So.
Yeah. So it misses you by a little bit. You kind of fend these things off. It's gonna try again. So yeah, it just keeps it. It really wants Kai right now because she was the first thing it saw apparently.
Hey, Kai, have you used your tattoo? I kind of want to see what it does.
Guy's like, oh shit, right. Is it my turn? No, it's Doc. It's the other Doc's turn, right?
Yes, it's the Mardam's turn. And actually, the Mardam has to make a pilot check because now there's just this big old submarine in his way. And Leaf, from your vantage point in the arm control, you just see the little submarine just kind of dip under you and try and go back around. You were in his way, so he can't make another one of those ram attacks that he was going to try and do. So that's his turn. Doc, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna fire my second spear.
All right, make that attack roll. And I'm assuming you've closed the distance even more.
Yes.
At this point, no penalty.
Shoot that shark.
14.
Oh, 14.
14 in total with your bonuses.
Do I get my attack bonus of 4?
Then that adds to it. So that is definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. And because you've done damage with your harpoon, you now have this thing attached to your harpoon gun with a line. So if you wanted to, you could potentially do something with that. It worked very well last time.
Indeed. I'm going to, so let's see. So a 2d4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a 4 and a 1.
Seems like a
All
harpoon
right.
should do more damage than that. But
Not really. It's not like exploding or anything. It's just like a
fair.
dart.
Yeah, and it's not.
Goes through.
I mean,
I'm
think about
gonna.
it this
So I'm
way.
gonna. So I shoot it through, and then I'm gonna start wrapping.
You're gonna try and tie its mouth shut or something.
Yeah.
Okay, make a. This is like before. This is an opposed grapple check, and just to remind you, because I don't want to be accused of tricking anyone here. Last time you succeeded on this opposed grapple check because the non-mutated shark rolled very badly and you rolled very, very well. I think it was literally a crit success and a critical failure. This is going to, unless that happens again, this might be a lot more even than you think. So if you wanted to, you could potentially tie the rope to something.
Yeah, maybe that's a better idea. I'm gonna yank. So I guess what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna grab the end of it. I'm just gonna pull it away and like try and tie it to the sub because it's real close now, right?
True. It kind of just flew past your head. So yeah, you swim over to the submarine, which is still moving, but you're a pretty strong swimmer, and it just hit something, so it has slowed down a little bit. Yeah, and you tie the rope to the submarine now. Do you tell Leaf about this?
Well, I will. I'll say, I will. I mean, as I'm working on it, I'll say, the shark is on the sub. Or I'm attacking.
Now I'm imagining boarding parties of shark people. This is great. I'm saving that for someday. Anyway.
He'll come back to haunt us.
It will. All right, Kai, it's your turn. This thing still wants you. It still wants to try and eat you.
I know. So many things do. Okay.
Usually because you're the first thing they see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. How is it looking?
It's looking a little the worse for wear, although on this mutated shark, it's a little hard to tell.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, it's missing a couple of its feeding tentacles at this point. It only was able to come at you with 2 of them.
I'm gonna try to shoot it again, I guess. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Okay. It's a 2, and won't matter what I add to that. So.
Yeah. So, Doc, behind you, you just see this flash of light as a laser just pierces the hull of the module.
Sorry.
Yeah, you missed the shark, sadly.
Question for you.
Yes.
The hot knife still in shark. Does that do any continual
True.
damage?
It's gonna make a fortitude save. Go ahead and roll the 1d6.
Cool.
It's gonna take half that.
Okay. 2.
2. Okay. It's definitely not looking good.
Good. That's
All
the
right,
goal.
and Leaf. I think we've got maybe we don't have much more time, but Leaf, what are you going to do with your action?
Am I in zappy range?
You definitely are in zappy range. So is your Mardim friend and the Doc, and possibly Kai, although you don't know how it's going to affect her inside the module.
And wait, the shark is tied to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And has metal in it.
The ship has metal, or
The
the
shark.
shark has metal?
The shark has
It
a
has-
harpoon in it.
It has a spear.
And a knife.
Yeah.
The shark has a knife? What are you guys doing?
No,
Trying
I
to make
didn't-
friends. What do you think we're doing?
I said give it food, not weapons.
The only food it seems interested in is Kai.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Have you tried looking less appetizing?
It's hard.
Yes, she has. Oh, maybe not on purpose.
uh,
You're wearing a space, an encounter
Could
suit.
I
I
just-
don't think that seems appetizing.
That's fair.
Can I have Bessie just like move the ship further further away to like drag this shark away from Kai?
Yeah, and the shark makes a strength check and rolls a 2, so it is not able to resist as it just gets pulled along. And yeah, you get a decent distance where maybe people won't get completely electrocuted when you activate this ability.
Cool. Can I still do a thing personally?
Sure. In fact, go ahead and roll that d20 I keep having you roll before I forget again.
16.
You're able to move again.
Yay.
I'm going to I'm gonna turn my head far enough that I can actually see what I'm doing, and then use far hand to hit the zappy button.
Leaf presses the button. Okay,
Press the
I
button.
never even touched it.
roll 6d6 damage.
Oh no.
Okay. 2, 4, 8, 16.
16. Yeah. Yeah. You turn around to see what's going on with the shark. Use your ability to hit the zap button, and all of a sudden, just the water around you erupts in electricity and bubbles, and you see the shark just wreathed in pale blue bolts as it writhes for a second, and then just starts drifting. And you have succeeded. You have solved my mutated shark puzzle.
Whoa! Did any of
I'm murdering it.
Yeah. Did any of the rest of us beef it with that zappy zap?
He was far enough away where Kai, you are definitely fine inside of this
Facility.
module.
Yeah.
Doc, you might have noticed your display flicker out for a second, but beyond that, you're okay. However, your friend's submersible has stopped moving. They seem fine because they were inside a cage inside the submersible. However, their vehicle is no longer operational and will require repair.
Oh. That's okay, as long as we're alive.
We've already established that Bessie can tow stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Kai's
Well, I'm
gonna-
gonna go.
Kai's gonna come over the line and just be like, Sea Leaf, that was a good button press. That was a good one.
Wait, is he can talk now
Yeah. He's
I can move again.
yeah.
completely? Oh, I guess that makes sense, but
You sound so disappointed.
no, it happened so fast. Like it just seemed like it was a really, really
It seemed a lot longer to me, man.
instantaneous recovery.
right.
I mean, your Mardim companion told you it was temporary.
Leaf stretches.
And should we end the session?
I think this is
There?
probably a good note to end it on.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Saw your message. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today on our little adventure here. As far as next week goes, so Monday I will be here playing some Airport for Aliens, currently run by dogs. But be here even if you don't like that game, which I think is cute, but I know it's not for everyone, because I'm going to be picking what game I play next on stream on Monday. So if you want to contribute to that, hang around. Wednesday, we're still trying to figure out if Michael is going to stream without me, but I'm not going to be here. He might have a special guest on. We're working on that. So you can check the schedule. And then on Friday next week, I believe we are also going to have to cancel, but the Friday after, we should be back with some more D&D in space. Apologies again for the weird schedule lately. Beginning of summer is very confusing for all of us. But hopefully by July, we'll have a more regular schedule. So,
And for those of you who are here because you're interested in astronomy, I just want to give a quick update. We don't really know what's going on, but Kitt Peak Observatory is being threatened by a wildfire, and we don't know the current status of the telescopes, but it's reached the telescopes, and so we expect. I don't know. I'm expecting there to be at least some bad news coming out of this in the next day or two.
yeah. So if
But
anyone's...
just hopefully we can talk more about it next week when we know more, and hopefully the fire is starting to die down. But in case some of you have heard about it, just so you know, we're aware of it, and we'll try and talk about it when we know more. But also for those of you who weren't aware, check the news, because it's in the news. There's again, there's not much there's not much information right now. Space.com has an article about it. Local newspapers do too, but there's some really awful, spectacular pictures with wildfires behind like radio telescope dishes, and it's
Yeah. So we'll
terrifying.
I'll update you folks if you're interested on Monday with more information on that. But yeah, you can check out local news stations or Tucson local stations, and I'm sure, like you said, Space.com.
Yeah, national news is gonna pick this up.
So, all right. Well, on that note, thank you guys all again for hanging out. If you want to watch the old streams, if you missed any of the episodes, they're all on the YouTube channel. The most recent one I'm going to be getting up by the end of tomorrow, probably. Yeah.
And we have a live session next Wednesday as well with Chris.
Oh yeah, maybe that'll just replace our regular session. Yeah, so we'll definitely be streaming on Wednesday. That'll be on the YouTube channel, I believe, right?
I believe this week is YouTube.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Great.
All right. Thanks everybody. And we got a request to raid Mawtater, so I'm gonna start our post stream, and then we're gonna do that. So if you want to hang out, Mawtater's a really fun streamer. I think she's playing Fallout right now, so I'll set that up. But I will say goodbye to everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.